Alright, so welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to work on the white VL. I recently got new tyres all around, and when we had it on the alignment machine, I had some camber on the passenger side that needs to be fixed. So I believe that you can use like shims and stuff like that, something to do with the Z bar, and space that out to adjust like camber car start to a certain point. But these days, or for a while actually, you can get adjustable strut caps for the top. So I got myself a set of Kmac adjustables. I've used them before in some other VLs and they work great. What it allows you to do is to have a lot more control over your camber and car start, and you can actually adjust it when it's on the alignment machine, just by loosening your strut caps bolts and just tweaking it as required to get the right camber and car start for your setup. So I have done some suspension stuff recently on the blue car, but yeah, I need to do it again on the white car to put these strut caps out, or strut caps in I should say. So what I need to do is basically pull the whole strut out and replace the top cap and then put it all back in. For the time being, I'm just going to set it up the best that I can using what I have, noting that I'm not really going to want to do a lot of driving until I get it tweaked. So once I get this done, I'll call up the place where I got my tyres fitted, and I'll go back down there and we'll tweak the camber and caster and get it all set up nice so I'm not chewing out my tyres. So I'll show you these strut caps. So as I said, Kmac, pretty awesome bit of kit. So as you can see here, it just comes as a kit for both sides. They're about $400 for the pair. Yeah, and it just replaces the top part of your strut, and then bolt it in, and then you can see these later model ones have like some adjustments, or sorry, what can I call those? Just like some markings on the plate itself to help align everything. So utilizing those, I think, and some backyard techniques, I should be able to get this reasonably close, and then once I take it to the alignment place, they can tweak everything for me. One thing that I'm concerned about is that I have a strut brace, so obviously it's got the top part of the strut there, so I'm thinking that I may just be able to not use the Kmac top and just use the strut brace top instead of that. Obviously the concern is the threads of these bolts not being long enough to have the Kmac plate and then this on top. So but alright, firstly, I don't know what I was thinking painting these things red. Maybe I was going for that Brembo look, I'm not sure, but yeah, we all make mistakes in life. Maybe because the sway bar is red and the springs are red, maybe that's why I did it, but oh well. Right, so I have covered this before in another video, doing my blue VL, but I'll just quickly go over it. So brakes off, so two 19mm bolts, pull the caliper off, slide it to the side. I need to disconnect my rack end down here, so cotter pin, bang that out, drop that out, and then I need to do the Z bar. So Z bar here, so bolt there, bolt down here on the lower control arm, and also unbolt where the lower control arm bolts in down the bottom there. And then all I have to do is undo the top of the strut. So let's whip these things out. Alright, so got this bad boy out with minimal fuss, no real dramas there. So now what I need to do is take this cap off and yeah, swap it over to the Kmac one. These are lowered springs, so the actual tension to get these down isn't really that high, so I'm not concerned about, you know, me undoing this and this blowing off and shooting me and stuff like that. It should be fairly straightforward just to push it down, to put the cap back on. Mind you, now that I've said that, it probably will be a nightmare, but we'll see. So the ones I did in my other car had lower springs and I just had to push them down, so we'll see what happens. So as you can see there, I didn't die. There was not a huge load of tension on that, so these things should be pretty straightforward to put back on. So I've got the cap on, so as you can see, it's got heaps of adjustment, which is awesome. You just got to make sure, I think, the offset is the right way. So there's like the nolethane bush underneath, it needs to be put a certain way. Alright, so I got it all back together. Strut cap's in. I've got everything loose so I can adjust it at the end and just try and set it up as central as possible. I'll probably have a feed, have a break, and then do the other side. Just winding things up now. The driver's side gave me a huge pain, but I just think it's because one of these studs was a little bit bent. I was having trouble getting it in the hole, but I gave that a tweak, and yeah, I'll just set these things up the best I can, knowing that I've got to go straight to the tyre shop to get them tweaked. So I'll go next week and get these bad boys tweaked, and then get my camber all sorted out. Just need to throw one more wheel on and I'm good to go. So adjustable strut caps are in. Just got to take it to the tyre shop now, get it tweaked. There is a little bit of camber, just what I can see visibly. Probably some caster too, can't really tell. But yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to drive straight to the tyre shop after I book in and get that sorted. Driver's side definitely was a pain. Gave me a bit of grief and probably took twice as long as doing this side. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, more things to come. I've got some fuel system upgrades that I need to do on this car before I go and take it tuned. So doing a bigger pump, doing bigger injectors, and then we're going to turn the boost up and see what kind of power this thing makes. So it's been safe since I've been driving around just on wastegate pressure, hitting around 12 pound of boost, and it gets up in boogies. So I'm interested to see how it does on around 20 pounds or if not more, and then go from there. So stay tuned, be safe, peace, see you next time.